Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Sexline TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both. And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania, and that is how you close a mania.
What else will you get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw after show, NXT after show, and of course a Friday Night SmackDown after show. You'll also get a recap of all the Big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime, and that is on the ancestors, baby.
A mess, child. Let me finish watching the last couple of midnights of NXT, and we gonna get into this mess, honey. Now, holy shit, Chance. Mm-hmm. Damn, Brian, you can't even. Jesus, he's just horrible. Oh, you've been watching. Okay, great. We love that. We love it. Oh, yeah, special needs. There's something wrong with him. Something is not quite clicking in the brain. Ooh! Ooh! Damn!
Watch the birdie.
Oh! No! No! Carmelo just standing there watching. He just laying there watching the shit. Oh! Well, that's it. There it is. Carmelo, get his ass. Carmelo. That's got to be the coolest shit in the world.
Right.
To be a wrestling fan like that and to be able to wrestle, and then you come in and you get to see probably one of the greatest talents of all time, loud, live, and in color, like in the ring. He's standing there like somebody's granddad. Look at him. He said, calm down, people. Don't do that. You can't be able to get back up. Then you, well, then you got laid out and sunned on the microphone.
Right.
How you get sunned on the microphone on your show? You disrespectful.
Right. They got to be cool for Carmelo.
Yes, it is cool. Carmelo got to see two of the greatest of all time in one night, and they bigged up them on the same show.
Right.
Like,
you probably can't tell him shit.
You don't even tell him nothing. He really gonna be him now.
Right.
Gonna be fucking around and be in his infernal majesty. Just yeah, you know, I walk around, I piss excellence.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry. I wake up in the morning, I just piss excellence. I just piss excellence. I'm sorry I had to finish watching the show. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. If you are not familiar, today was a great day for wrestling fans all over the world. You see, for the first 30 minutes of NXT and, of course, for the first 30 minutes of AEW, it was commercial free. And if you were at an AEW show and you had yourself a nice little, suite, it's not a blackout show for AEW shows. So you could very well watch NXT while being at the AEW show. And that's what was happening across social media. Now, first things first, let's address some of y'all corny ass AEW fans who was being real petty. Y'all was being real petty on the Twitterverse and all over Instagram. I see you on the TikTokies and stuff, mad because WWE put out all the guns, all the stops, had so much going on. Y'all said when this all started that all was fair in love and war. What they said. So in my mind, if AEW can dish it, well, baby, they can take it. And Tony Khan ain't had no choice but to take it. No Vaseline. It was raw. And it was a big one. It was a big one with a lot of girth. This is what happens when you run your mouth. You get got. You get sucked. You get beat down. Okay? This is what we do. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding, okay? Y'all take things just a little bit too seriously for me. I'm just saying. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys enjoyed NXT. And if you watched AEW's Title Tuesday, I hope you enjoyed Title Tuesday. Now, if I'm going to be fair, I could give you AEW's results if I wanted to be fair, I'll be fair. The best thing about Title Tuesday had to be Toni Storm. Toni Storm was on there today and she was giving out her best ass whippings with shoes. So I respect that. That was fun to watch. I did get to see it via Twitter, so that was cool. But we're going to start with NXT first since that's what I actually watched fully and completely through. Hopefully you guys have subscribed by now and you're not watching my channel without subscribing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Watch my channel, subscribe. That's all I ask. Subscribe, baby. I give Junior his medicine. Oh, my cord is not plugged up, remember?
Oh, shit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please do that. It really helps my channel. And of course, the more subscribers I get, the more times I can go ahead and monetize. And of course, I can go ahead and start pumping out content on the regular every single week because I'm getting paid to do so, which would be lovely. Okay. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, for now, I am not monetized. So you guys are free to speak as freely as you want. With all that being said, let us get to the top comment of the day. Top commenters of the day goes to, let me look at my timeline. First, let's pull it up. Top commenter of the day Today, today it goes to my mommy because it's my mom's birthday today, and my mommy wants to be the only top commenter for the day. The pills spilled out. They're the same thing, babe.
I don't know.
Did they spill on the floor?
No, it just all spilled in the bag.
Okay. Today, top commenter goes to my mom because it's her birthday today. Shout out to my mommy. So yeah, I'm not allowed to give it to nobody else because she wants it. So, happy birthday, Mom. All right. Now let's get into the nitty of the gritties, okay? If you watched NXT today, you were in for an amazing treat. All right. The show was pretty good. Everything that they had going on, it was a lot, okay? Even with, it was so much going on. There was so much going on it. Daddy, what do you think? What are you hearing? It might be Gerard putting his pills back in his pill bottle. But there was a lot going on, from The Undertaker showing up at the end to, of course, John Cena and Paul Heyman, to Cody Rhodes making his announcement early in the night, to a title match between Dominic Mysterio and Ilya Dragunov. It was so much going on, but it was a good time. I will say that they was out there giving what they had to give, and you know what? It was a show, as chaotic as it still was a very good show. It was so much fun to watch. So shout out to them for putting on an amazing show. And I can't stress it enough how great it really was. So I'm gonna go and give y'all a couple seconds because I gotta get something off of Twitter right quick. Give me a few seconds and I'll be back.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't desired.
So let's get into it. NXT was a very fun show to watch, okay? It was a bit exhausting, I will say that, but for the most part, fun show to watch, okay? We're going to start off with where they started off, which was with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes opened the show, which I thought was a bit different. I didn't expect Cody to open the show, but he did. Cody came out there and was welcomed heavily from everybody, and the crowd loved Cody. Sang his song. It was loud. It was rambunctious in there. That NXT crowd was infectious today. This is the best the NXT has been in years. Okay, so it was a good show. Okay, let's get into what Cody was talking about. To be fair to everybody else who came in, Pierre was second. Nika was first, Pierre was second, Donnie was third, so shout out to you, Donnie. And then Kayla, she was in the fourth, and Aaliyah was the fifth. But my mom, she's the number one top commenter today because it's her birthday, like I said. You missed the first 30 minutes. You missed a lot, babe. You missed a lot, babe. But, you know, my day was great. Thank you for asking. He said, okay, that was pretty damn cool. It really was. For Carmelo Hayes to get the endorsements that he got today, it can't be anything other than that little boy who's loved wrestling finally getting to see the greats and the people that he idolized. That's got to be an amazing feeling that he could never be able to get. And for them to be able to do what they did, it was an awesome thing to watch on television as well. This was a historic night, man. So many greats in one place at one time. You can't beat that with a stick, okay? I'm going to use that. I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. But I have it recorded, so I'm going to watch what I missed. Very good. If you a greasy spoon, go get some Dawn dish soap and be a happy spoon. Hold on, y'all.
Hello, chat.
Make sure you clean up the kitchen, baby.
Clean it.
You cleaned it up already?
I clean up as I cook, girl. I don't play no games.
Daddy said it's a little grease on the floor.
I'll get it. Ow! That's that. I'll get it. Okay. Yeah. Here I come. Put it in the oven. You got but one hand.
Hey, Dad.
I got them Undertaker.
That grandpa,
Rotund.
he came out there, he said, nigga, shit. Young fella, you all right?
Get your ass.
Right. There you go, sure. Hiram's here. Hello, Hiram. Kayla. Thank you. Ma, they said happy birthday. Hey, Sasha. Hey. I missed an hour and a half. Oh my God, you missed a lot.
Right. So much shit happened with that first hour
The
and a half.
whole show. You missed the whole show, babe.
Everything was just chaos.
I'm gonna try to give you as much of it as I can remember because, like I said, it was a lot. But let me get into it. Mama. Donnie said, happy birthday, Mama Brown. And they call Daddy Mr. Brown and Mommy Mama Brown. Pop Brown. I'm gonna call him Pop Brown. Oh, shit. Oh my God. Oh, my mom's B-Day is in 5 days. Well, happy birthday to your mom. Hi, Tirza. Yes, it would let me in. Oh, my Lord. Gatekeepers. Happy birthday, T-Mom. Thank you, Nika. I'll make sure to tell her. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. So, like I said, NXT opened up with Cody Rhodes. And to make a long story short, Cody announced 3 things. Number 1, that the Dusty Classic would be returning. And number 2, that the NXT Men's Breakout Tournament is going to start right after the Women's Breakout Tournament ends. Okay, so we got the tournaments are returning, which I like because those tournaments take up good pieces on the show, and it also allows for us to see the talent actually develop. And sometimes a cold match doesn't really give you everything you need, and sometimes you need just a little bit of effort or incentive to be able to continue watching or to be able to see it, and therefore that tournament aspect really helps to aid in that particular medium. All right. So Cody made those announcements. And while he was out there, Braun Breaker decided to come out there. Well, it was Ilya Dragunov, excuse me. He decided to come out and basically give Cody a bunch of compliments and pay the respects to the man and talk about how much he admires him and respects him. And then that's when Dominic Mysterio and his Powerpuff reject came out there. Now, Dominic basically was doing what he always does, which was goading people into matches that he know respectfully he can't win. He goaded Ilya Dragunov into a match, which, to be honest, the match should have been between Trick and Dominic Mysterio. That's where the match should have been. But like I said, it leads me to believe that probably coming up next Monday, those tag team titles with Jay and Cody are probably going to be lost at some point. If it doesn't happen now, it will happen at Clash. It'll happen at Crown Jewel. But with all that being said, Cody made it official that Dominic Mysterio was going to basically contest for Ilya Dragunov's championship. So Ilya accepted, and he was like, I'm going to beat you. I don't need your help. But he said, just to make sure, we have some even kill here. I know how shit goes down with the Judgment Day, having had to deal with you myself on Monday Night Raw. So he says, I'm going to make sure there's an enforcer here that's going to make sure things are fair and even. And we're going to have LA Knight be your ref. Now, LA Knight came out there and ref this match in his glasses. That baby had his ref shirt on, had his vest on, and kept shades on, honey. LA Knight was not with the shits and had a fresh pair of butters on. He was not playing. Or as Tears and the people in New York call them, they call them constructs. Mm-hmm. They either new bucks or butters here in Cleveland, okay? But baby, he ref that match, and it was an okay match. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of interference happening in that match, but I'll get to that in a second. Probably my favorite match of the night was the pub match between Brawling Brutes and Gallus. Now, this match was just hella fun.
No, he went back downstairs to his bathroom.
Timberland boots have nicknames.
Not yet.
They're called New Bucks or Butters here in Cleveland. In New York, sometimes they're referred to as constructs, but they are Tims. Girl, all right. Anyways, I know I've said this before, but live your best life. This was my favorite match of the night. This was Gallus versus the Brawling Brutes, with a pseudo member of the Brawling Brutes being Tyler Bate. Now, Tyler Bate and Butch and Ridge put on an awesome match against Gallus and the Coffee Brothers and Homeboy. Like, they went in this match, all 6 of them. And I don't even fuck with Joe Coffey like that, but they all performed exceptionally well. I love this match. It was so much fun, so much chaos. Like, it was so so weird. It wasn't weird, but I was weirded out by the fact that I enjoyed that match as much as I did. And I didn't think that I would, but I really did. I really loved this match. I loved it so much. It was so good. Y'all, if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it. This was officially the second match of the night because the first match of the night actually went to Oscar and Roxanne. They put on a banger of a match as well. Oscar ended up winning that match against Roxanne, but she did exceptionally well going up against Oscar. But there was just no way gonna beat Oscar. She almost had a couple of moments where she almost did, but she definitely performed at a high caliber today. Roxanne Perez deserves all the praise that she's getting. She did really good against Oscar, and even Oscar gave her a big nod at the end of the match when it was over. Now Kiana came in there to attack the girl, and Shotzi was there today. And I love how they gave us a little bit of surprises in there. Shotzi came out there in her small tank, came out there and witnessed that at commentary, and she's going to be hosting Halloween Havoc again. And I'm so happy because I love Shotzi. I love her, and I think Shotzi is always so much fun to watch, especially in her element like Halloween Havoc. She loves Halloween, so you know this is Shotzi's thing, and she's hosting it again for the second year in a row. And I know it's going to be fun because she's going to be hosting it. But Halloween Havoc is 2 nights. So we get to have Shotzi for 2 weeks straight on NXT. Now, Kiana James was trying to attack Roxanne after the match was over. Shotzi ended up taking her out. And now it looked like Shotzi and Kiana going to have a little thing going on. Kind of similar to the way Shotzi and Lash had a little thing and she took out Lash. And, well, Kiana can get her just due too. Okay? But like I said, the Brawl and Bruce match was the second match. It was pretty fun. The boys was out there having a really good time. There were a few matches that was in between there and a few things that we learned. So let me tell y'all about that before we get to Braun and Carmelo. Okay. Lock it. I didn't see the show. I only saw a blurry photo from a distance. Sorry. Either way, that's not what I was referring to because you was acting like you didn't know what I was talking about in terms of the nicknames for the shoe. But I've said those nicknames before, and you were here when I said those nicknames for the shoes because I distinctly remember Tirza commenting in the comment section on that day. Matter of fact, it was Saturday. No, it was last week when LA Knight came out there it was a week or two ago, or it was actually the week before last. LA Knight came out there in the Timberland boots, and he was out there beating down Jimmy and Solo in the boots and signed the contract to be um John Cena's partner. And I remember Tirza putting in the comment section, in New York we call them constructs, and I was like, he had a fresh pair of butters on. You were here then. So I know you knew what I said and what I was referring to. That's why I responded the way that I did. You seeing the photo on Twitter or wherever you saw it is irrelevant because we talked about this before. Now, if you forgot, that's fine. But the comment came across very shady, is all I'm going to say about that. Scarlett would be a cute addition to host it with. I don't have a problem with Scarlett being a part of that. I actually like Scarlett, and she likes, creepy stuff, and she likes horror as much as the next girl. Plus, her and Scarlett are very close friends, so I wouldn't be mad about that. Now, like I said, there were some things that were not advertised that we ended up seeing on the show, but to pivot to AEW, this was Title Tuesday, and Sheeta ended up winning the AEW Women's Championship from Soraya. They were trying to cheat because Ruby Soho was banned from ringside. Ruby came out there anyway, and Toni Storm whipped her the shoe. I can tell you one thing. Let me tell y'all something. AEW may be a lot of things, but one thing they know how to do is at least allow their talent to utilize the best that they have at their arsenal. And one thing Toni Storm has done is transformed herself into a true actress and character, because this starlet character, this fallen 1950s starlet character she got, is in its bag. Okay, this shit is the best thing going in AEW right now, especially for the women's division. But Sheeta has gotten the championship now for the third time. She has beaten Saraya and she is now champion. I can't tell you nothing else, babe. That's all I know. Let me move into what we did see. Like I said earlier, this match was made between between Ilya and Dom, because Dom obviously wants to be a double champ, but it didn't work out in his favor. He did try to utilize, the Judgment Day, including JD McDonough and including, I think it was Finn that came out there. I didn't see Damian Priest. They all came out there to help, but it didn't work. Even Rhea tried to get involved, and that's when Trick came down there, pulled Rhea off the apron, and caught her. And this is where they ended up. Dominic Mysterio ended up getting beat, and the match was over. And Trick Williams essentially helped aid and embed Dominic Mysterio in losing his opportunity at the championship. It is pretty interesting, I will say that. This is what happened at the end. Okay, Undertaker showed up. I'm trying to get the in here right, because the pictures are not right, dog. They are all out of sorts, as they say. No, she's hosting it with Scarlett. Oh, she's hosting it with her. I didn't know that. They have that show on WWE YouTube. Oh, cool. Okay. There's a video circulating on Twitter of people who are in the VIP section in the AEW show watching NXT on the flat screen. Now, let's keep it real. I probably would have did the same thing. Like I said earlier in the show, you came in a little later, so you didn't hear me. But when you go to an AEW show, it appears that their shows are not blackout shows. Okay. So because they're not blackout shows, they can put whatever they want to on that TV in there. And so they had the NXT on the TV. I would put NXT on the TV too. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. As long as the show is not a blackout show, you can do that. For WWE events, though, they're blackout shows. So the TVs are not even allowed to be on in the suite when you're watching a WWE show. So you can't watch anything else while you're in there. Because when I went here in Cleveland, they informed us that it was a blackout show. And when I went, those TVs weren't even allowed to be turned on. Because I was going to turn it on so we can hear the commentary, because the commentary be the best part. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you miss the commentary when you in there in the crowd. But it, unfortunately, it's a blackout show no matter where you go. She's what the fuck. I love that for them. Yeah, she said it on commentary. I didn't get to hear it because I had to record. So I didn't get to hear it. But thank you, Don, for clearing that up. I appreciate that. I used to do that. I mean, it's fair. She said, I think that's hilarious. Hell yeah. When I was living in Cincy and when I was dating this guy, we were in box seats at the Reds game, and I had the Browns game on, period, Nicole. Period. Period. Hello, Rico. How are you? All right, so like I said, we had a couple of matches that were not announced, but they were a part of the show. So we had Lola going up against Danny Palmer. This is the second match of the women's breakout tournament. Lola did beat Danny Palmer, although Danny Palmer put up a good fight against Lola. For the most part, Lola was able to best her with one swift kick, and that was it. Game over. So, I mean, Not mad at it. I kind of figured that she was going to be the one to advance. I did call Lola beating Danny Palmer. I also called Kaylani Jordan beating Izzy Dame. Now, these two over here in the right and left corners here are a bit of a toss up. And to be fair, either one of them could advance. I think that though, for the sake of continuity of being on television, I would give the win over Ariana Grace to Jakara and let Jakara go up against Kaylani. But I honestly think that they're going to go with Ariana Grace. Ariana was the one they were pushing before she got injured. When she got injured, obviously that halted. So I just have a sneaking suspicion that Ariana Grace is going to be the one to advance. But if Jakara does, I'm not going to be mad about that either. Carmen Petrovic and Jada Parker are both two new girlies, and either one of them could advance. I'm going to move into a space of saying that it's going to be Carmen Petrovic that advances over Jada Parker. I don't know. It's just something about this, the way that this is set up. I just feel like that's where it's going to go. However, if Jada Parker advances, again, I won't be mad about that. I feel like Lola Vice is going to end up at the end, and so will Kaylani Jordan, and Lola Vice is more than likely going to win. Now, if it ends up being Ariana Grace and Lola Vice, it's a toss up. Either one of them could win. They both heels, so it is what it is. But on this right hand side of the tournament, Lola's gonna be y'all victor. On the left, it could be a toss up between Ariana and Kaylani. If Jakara makes it past Ariana, she not beating Kaylani Jordan. I can put that on you right now. Okay, that's just how I feels about it. Okay. This match was pretty good. It really was. I ain't no disrespect. Both make sense. Facts. I think Carmen gonna advance too because she's been on Level Up and Jada hasn't yet. Yeah, I've seen Carmen on Level Up. Right, what he said. Period. All right, so let's move into the other things that happened on the show. Brian Pillman Jr. has decided that he no longer wants to operate under his father's name. He's using the father of his father of WCW, Brian Pillman. He didn't know his father. His father died when he was 4, and he is tired of being compared to his father. He said he's tried to escape this world and lifestyle, but every time he tries to leave, he gets sucked back in. He seems very angry and distraught. He got brand new teeth, hair lined up, got his hair all dark and lined up around his face, hair real bouncy. I'm gonna need for you to get some of AJ Styles conditioner, hair shampoo, and you need to get you a nice little, just a little trim, just a little trim, get rid of some of that dead hair. And then I'm gonna need you to go ahead and stop using that Beijing. Stop that, baby. Stop doing that. Don't invest in that Beijing no more. And then I'm gonna need for you to put you a nice conditioner in there, soften that hair up, get you a little bit of oil, a little bit, because y'all hair way down real bad. Get you a little herb, rub that in your hands, and just brush that through, finger combing through your hair. So your hair has a little life to it, it look a little healthy and bouncy. This dry. You and Dolph Ziggler had the same issues when it comes to your hair, but he had a message, for everybody who keeps giving him all this trauma, all this, comparing him to a man that's dead that he never got to meet, never got the chance to. Well, he knows of his father, but he don't have, big memories of his dad like some of the fans who were able to see and experience him the way that they were. So he don't want to be compared to the man no more. He don't want to live his life in that shadow no more. And now he's going to create his own space in wrestling. He said, I know I never wanted to be a part of WWE. Then I said, well, baby, why did you sign the contracts? Oh, why is you here? Okay. So now he said he's going to go by the name of the man who he knows that raised him, the man who he knows loves him and taught him what it was to be a man. He's going to go by King, and that's just what it is. And I said, okay, so your name going to be Brian King? Okay, baby. Okay, baby. And you know what? I'll be fair with you. I probably would be okay with everything that's going on. And I get it. You don't want to go by Pillman Jr., obviously, because that's your legal name. WWE will own that patent. You would have to wait till that patent is up for you to get that shit back, or you would have to buy it back. And you don't have time for that. So you're going to change the name so they don't have to patent and do all that stuff, trademark all your names and everything. Cool. But the story, I feel like, is a bit angry. It's a bit angry. It's a bit, chauvinistic. It's real harsh towards. He couldn't help that he died. I'm sure that wasn't the it wasn't the ideal way for him to leave you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know Brian Pillman's story per se, but I'm just saying, I don't think the man intentionally, wanted to leave you at 4 years old. So maybe we can, not use that as our trope for being a top WWE superstar. It's just my thought process. I was just sitting there the whole time, like, I was like, okay, girl. All right. If that's I always forgot he was so young when his dad passed. Lexus King. Is that what he's gonna be? Ew, that's even worse. I don't Lexi's King. Lexi's King. Lexi was the name of his sister that passed, and King is his mom's maiden name. I mean, he was on drugs. I'd be salty about it too. I mean, I don't think the man was trying to kill himself. I mean, damn, like, I mean, I ain't gonna say nothing bad about it. If that's what he want to go by, cool. I would go by Lex King personally. I don't know. I feel some type of way. He's got that Disney protagonist backstory. That's what WWE has trademarked. Lexus King. I think he should just go by King if we being fair. I don't like it. I'm be honest. Alex King is cute. That's a cute name, but Lexus King don't sound right to me. But if that's what you want to do, I ain't gonna be mad about it. You come in there dressed like he's stuck in the 80s and the 90s at the same time. I don't know how you was able to pull that shit off. But all right. Alex King is very good. I like Alex King. It logically makes sense to me. It flows off the tongue right. But Lexus King, I don't like. I don't know about y'all, but that's his name. That's what they done trademarked. I just go by King if that was the case. But sure. Alex King is what he used to be called. So why don't he just go by that? As someone who has a complicated relationship with their dad, I 100% could get behind this. I don't necessary, but if you guys like it, that's your business. I ain't gonna shit on it. Me personally, I don't have no idea or any type of uh feeling towards Brian Pillman Sr. one or another. I really don't have no opinion of Brian Pillman Jr. one way or another, if I'm being fair. So it is what it is, dog. Like, we'll see where it goes. I ain't gonna be shitting on it. I'm just saying it just seemed really angry. And I'm like, at some point, I don't know. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but his mullet looked better. Okay. If you think so. Personally, I like the lineup. I think the lineup on his hair looked nice. It just looked like it's heavily um it just looked like it's been heavily inked out. Like somebody took some Beijing, put it in there, and it could just be his hair is naturally that dark, and I'm not used to seeing it that dark because everybody thought his beard was fake. I don't think his beard is fake at all. I think that he just has it colored very heavily, which he could have. He could have gotten his hair dyed so that his roots and his hair that's faded is super dark, and they got his beard colored and dyed as well, which they do that. So, and then they just gave his hair a full on blonde situation, which works for him. He's not a bad looking dude. I don't have a problem with his hair, but it's just a staunch, it's such a staunch contrast in his hair and looks. And then he's got, the teeth have been redone. Like he's got a whole thing going. Brian Pillman was a great wrestler. Insane human being, was super hard to work with. Oh wow. I have no concept of that man at all. He was in WCW, and so I really don't have any information about Brian Pillman. I like how this angle can go because we can't be filled with a whole bunch of Codys, etc., running around crying, talk about how I love and miss my daddy. I didn't expect Brian Pillman Jr. to mention his father at all. To be honest with you, I didn't expect that to be a part of his story arc or to be anything about it. I just expected him to come in and start this new character, whether it be Brian Pillman Jr. or the new one that we're looking at with Lexus King. I just didn't expect the father aspect to be a part of it. I just was like, okay, Brian Pillman's in WWE. Let's see what we do with it. I didn't think they would mention the father. I didn't think they had to. But if that's where he wants to go, if he can pull it off, I think he can really go somewhere. Cool beans, fine by me. All right, so we had that segment. What else happened? Oh, the tag team titles. So, like I said, the Dusty Classic is coming back. That's probably going to happen after the Breakout Men's Tournament. With all that being said, the current tag team champions decided that they wanted to get in on the fun of Halloween Havoc too. But the only way that they would be able to do that is they had to have a number one contender. So Tony and Stacks came up with the idea to do a full-on battle royal. And basically, every team that's in there has to compete. And once one half of your team gets thrown out, the whole team is eliminated. But the last two teams that are in there, that's when the match actually starts. So they'll have a full match after that. And then whoever wins will be named the number one contender for the family's tag team titles. At least that's what I remember hearing. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm not surprised because unlike a lot of second and third gens, it's been very, very hard for him to get away from anything with his dad. He was super hard to work with, mainly because of his addiction, everywhere from the indies to AEW. Well, unfortunately for him, he looks like his father. He looks like the spitting image of his father. So I can understand it. I'm just saying, it was further from my mind that he would be that would be a part of his story arc. It just didn't cross my mind that he would that it would get there, is my point. But Cody's relationship with his dad is completely different than Brian's. You know you wild, and when New Jack says you wild and something is wrong. Oh wow. Yeesh. Okay. I don't know, therapy. That's all I can say to that. It's just maybe some therapy will help. You get you some Zen like Tyler Bate. I don't know. I'm just trying to make light of it because it's real dark. It's just getting real dark. Oh shit. Okay. So we got a couple of backstage segments. While the tag team champions were talking to Cody, Cody made it official. So this tag team match is happening. I would imagine it's happening sometime next week. So she said New Jack used to say that about Bryan Sr. I didn't think they would mention his father either, but it's kind of hard not to, you know. But they took his character in a different direction, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't. She said, "I love dark. That's real." I mean, I just was like, no, I'm talking about this conversation, not the storyline or him. I'm talking about this conversation. It got real dark real quick, and I was like, "Whoa, wait, wait." I just didn't expect it. That's just me. I just wasn't thinking about any of that. And that may be because I don't know anything about Brian Pillman Sr. I don't know anything about his career. I wasn't watching WCW at that time. So I know nothing about him. I know nothing of him. I've heard him mentioned in passing through y'all and of course through other wrestling podcasters and other wrestling aficionados. I just don't have any core memories about him. I don't know anything about his life or what he did, or I don't even know if the man won championships. I know that he was a good wrestler. I've seen glimpses of him on YouTube, but I wasn't around his during his time of wrestling. So I have no inkling of him at all. I don't know anything. I know that he existed. I didn't know he died from a drug overdose. I didn't know it was drugs. I'm sure Alexis or Nicole have mentioned it before when we've had conversations about wrestling in passing. But usually when it comes to Brian Pillman, because I don't really know him, a lot of that stuff goes out of sight, out of mind, if that makes sense. And that's no disrespect to them when they're speaking to me. It's just I don't store it because he doesn't come up in conversation that often. So there's no need for me to store that information and revert back to it if it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And maybe his feelings toward his father are legitimate feelings and not to character based. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. A lot of them kids who ain't in the industry always feel a certain type of way about the business. He'll look at Owens kids. That's why I'm saying I'm like that stuff I'm not a part of because I just wasn't a part of that. I didn't see it. Furthermore, his feelings about his father is his business. He is entitled to feel however he wants to feel. I was talking about the character that I'm seeing. I wasn't talking about him personally. So I don't know the man. I can't speak for his personal feelings about his dad because, like I said, that's his business. I was speaking on what I was being shown on TV as a part of his story arc. That's what I was talking about. I'm just glad he ditched that mullet. You just don't like a mullet, Rico, which is fine. Like, you just don't like a mullet. They announced his death live on a pay-per-view. I'll never forget that. I wasn't watching WCW, so I had no idea. Well, that was a dark path. All right. Shall we move forward, ladies and gents? Yes. I mentioned Lola and Danny Palmer and the whole situation with them. Let us move forward before it gets worse. All right. Now, John Cena was in the back with Trick and Carmelo having a conversation with them. And Trick was talking to Carmelo, and Carmelo was just like a giddy little boy standing there. And I don't mean it because of his stature and height. He legitimately was extremely giddy and excited that John Cena was there. And then later on in the night, the Undertaker was there. And it just looked like he was really
Candy shop.
just able to be, it's like being able to look your favorites in the eye and finally, I don't know how to explain it. He just looked like I get to meet my heroes in person. And for him, his heroes ain't gonna let him down because they're there with him in the trenches with him, and he can. Is it water in there? I forgot to put water in there. He gets to experience being around his childhood heroes right there in the midst of his career. That's got to mean more to him than gold at this point. It just looked like he was just genuinely excited to be there and to have that happen to him. I know that was an awesome feeling for him, if I explained it properly. He said, no, it's true. He looked better now. Fuck mullets. mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember that. I started crying. All my homies hate mullets. I hate mullets. And he died while he was in a story with Terry Reynolds, FKA Marlena, which was eerie. He died when he was in WWE. Yeah, let's move forward. I'm just saying that had to be around the time where I wasn't watching. That sound like some mid 90s, late 90s type stuff. I wasn't watching then. Oh, don't forget Dom and Rhea. Kinda are Nathan up. Ate Nathan up. Yeah. Nathan Frazier and Dom and Rhea had a little interaction, which leads me to believe that Nathan Frazier probably is the next one that Dom is going to compete against. He was like, Dom basically was like, who the hell is this guy? He was just like, Nathan was standing there just talking bad shit. And then, oh, she's so cute. And then, look at her.
You see herself on the monitor.
That's so cute. And then he was like, Dominic was like, who the hell is this guy? Rhea was like, don't worry about him. He's not the North American champion. And I was like, girl, your man ain't gonna be champion much longer. But live your best life. Depends on how the mullet is worn. It could be cute, but child. Any whoosies. Was this live or yesterday's live?
This was from a couple days ago.
Any whoosies. So after Ilya got done with his match, right before the match happened, though, there was a conversation with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin seems to be very upset with Ilya dragging off. He feels like Ilya is wasting time sucking Cody's dick and running around here talking shit instead of doing what he needs to be doing, which is defending his NXT championship. He feels like he is a waste of a champion. And baby, he said he's going to take that title off of him and make sure, that a true champion represents the NXT brand. Now, I told you earlier that the family was talking to Cody because Cody was the guest GM for the night. But while they were talking, a little ominous birdie was walking past the back of the camera, and it was Dijak. And I said to myself, where the fuck is you going? Now, after that, that's when Ilya and them's match went on, okay? Ilya had a match with Dom. The match was for the NXT championship. Now, he lost the match. I told y'all earlier, due to all the interference and everything that was happening, Dominic Mysterio lost the match, but Ilya was beating his ass. That he really was, okay? Now, after the match was over, Corbin came out there, to stake his claim to Ilya's championship. But while he had his back turned, Ilya got attacked by Dijak. Now, my thing is, when Dijak got out the ring and saw Corbin standing there, Corbin is like, what the fuck is you doing, basically? Like, what is going on? And Dijak was like, you gonna wait your damn turn. He's mine. And I'm like, nigga, didn't he beat your ass the last time y'all wrestled? The last time y'all wrestled, he had your ass laid out prostrate before the Lord, baby. You were not moving. He bust you in the back of your neck sometimes, so many times. I'm surprised that you could even move right now. Okay? Like, I was just like, I don't understand why you're getting a chance or an opportunity at the title. Every match, every feud that you have started, sir, you have lost. Currently, you ain't got no momentum to be going after nobody. So I'm so lost as to why Shawn Michaels would even attempt to consider booking this, let alone letting him attack Ilya like that. Because if you ask me, Dijak should be at the bottom of the barrel. I'm sorry. Sorry. Sneaks back in. Hey, y'all. Hey, Kenny. Hey. Not you, Scrumped. Scrum, purr. I love that video so much. But did yourself say, I read what you put, which was, Why ain't Brian let Paul use some of that just for men if he was in his corner? Baby, he liked being white, honey. In every word, sense of the word. Well, he did beat Eddie. Okay. He didn't beat Eddie Thorpe in the strap match. Eddie Thorpe won the strap match. He beat up Eddie Thorpe after the match was over. So no, baby, he didn't beat Eddie. He lost. He lost that. He beat him once in one match that he cheated to win. They then continued the feud, and Eddie Thorpe won the strap match. Child, he lost every feud he started. I stand by that. He lost every feud he started. I'm not changing it. He lost that match. He lost it. I don't know who called him. Go on his Instagram. I don't know, honey. Call him and ask him. I don't know. He beat the hell out of Eddie Thorpe because he lost. But he definitely lost that match with Eddie Thorpe. But him whipping the tree was so odd. Well, it's in their blood. They can't help it. It's in his blood, Rico. He can't help it. He's born of odd individuals. Let's put it that way. Chilling. Any whoosies. We had that little moment. So I think I've covered everything that I saw. Everybody was talking to Oscar and giving Oscar a little heads up. The girls was back there. Kaylani was acting like a little giddy schoolgirl going and talking to Oscar and shaking her hand. And as Fallon was getting ready to talk to Oscar, Tiffany Stratton came in there dressed. I would say this. Tiffany Stratton dresses like she's still in 2003. And I hate it. It's not a good 2003 aesthetic. It's that cheap Shein aesthetic. Now, I know a lot of y'all is going to be like, I buy Shein. I'm going to ask you a question. When you buy your clothes, do you look cheap when you put it on? I'll wait till you answer. I'll wait. When you buy your cheap stuff from Fashion Nova or from Shein, does it look cheap? This is nasty. I just want to know. Cause I be seeing some of y'all pictures when y'all be online after you take your pictures and you put your stuff on. Y'all don't look like y'all cheap. Y'all don't look like y'all throw it together. Y'all shoes don't be too big. Y'all don't look cheap. No, it wasn't. No, it was not. Donnie don't look cheap, and he shop at Shein. So her excuse, it wasn't giving clueless, baby. That's not clueless. No, I said she looked like a Walgreens J Lo. Well, I mean, fake ass Kiana came in there looking like a reject mean girl. So mm, it, she wasn't giving clueless. I can tell you that. The girls in Clueless was wearing designer shit. Okay, we talking about ready to wear designer shit. So no, I don't understand it. I know that Tiffany Stratton is not everybody's cup of tea. She not necessarily mad, but I respect the girl's hustle and her game in wrestling in that ring. Here, babe, can you put this over there because that straw needs to be cleaned out and it's everything is tasting gross in the straw. Here, let me move this over so you can sleep. So I don't really like the way she dressed. I think the way she dressed is tacky. And the kind of body Tiffany got, she can wear whatever the hell she wants. And what she wears is just cheap club wear looking shit or cheap looking 2000s era type stuff. And I feel like the 2000s esque era is cute. It was very bubbly and sometimes it was bohemian, but you saw a lot of bright colors and vibrant fabrics. And it was nice. It was a cute time. Mini skirts was in, low rise jeans was in, so was bell bottoms and boot cuts. It was a time, honey, but it's just a way that you can incorporate that into the current world of fashion that would make it work. Like she can still wear low rise jeans and wear some real cute shoes. Wedge platforms are in again. The really big clunky platform shoes are in again. Like, come on, baby, get it together. She is the mean girl. I fuck that bitch. She don't look like it. Even Regina George dressed like she was somebody. Hell, Tiffany coming in, Kiana coming there dressed. Girl, go to hell. Like everything, child. Are y'all talking about Kiana? I thought y'all was talking about Electra. No, I actually like Electra's outfit and I like the boots. For once, Electra came out there dressed. And it was a simple two-piece. The boots was everything. And I was like, see, Electra, when you come out, you give like this, then I can get behind you, bitch. Makeup was cute, hair was cute. I said, okay, Electra. Who man you trying to steal, Lola's? Electra is married to an old white man, child. Okay, I seen her husband. He's old white man. Oh my. Yes, thank you, Nicole. Wait till I put her comment up here because it's true. I buy from both Shein and Fashion Nova, and none of my fashions look cheap. That's all I'm saying. It do not have to look that cheap. It always look cheap on her, and I don't understand that. Not ski you. Go to hell, Kenny. Kiana dresses like a librarian. Amen. Amen. For all the people in the back of the church, let us say amen. The preacher has preached this sermon. She has exorcised the demons. Amen. Amen. Okay, yes. Father God, thank you. I feel blessed. I feel blessed. The God done blessed you. Hallelujah. Okay. Sorry, intrusive thoughts. I hate how Electra dresses now. That bitch always looks cheap. Like she got off a shift at Rainbow. Today she didn't look like that. She was cute. My mom's a librarian. She eats. A sexy one. I don't know what you talking about. What I saw today, she looked like she was on her way to cheerleading practice and the library. And neither one of them was given what it was supposed to have gave. Yeah, she looked like she was fit to break out in the full cheer. A badly dressed one. Very good. Very good. Very good. Anyways, Tiffany cut off Fallon and basically got in her face. And Oscar was trying to get her ass up out of there and go in her dressing room. She wasn't trying to hit that shit. Fallon said, bitch, your daddy must not have taught you how to at least have some manners. And then Tiffany was like, no. And I was like, girl. She was like, but he did teach me how I should treat people like you. And I was like, how is that? Like they owe you money? Because that's how you treat everybody. Like they owe you money or like they're poor. What Fallon should have did is grab that heifer by the back of her hair and snatched her ass up. That's what I would have did. Because first of all, you're not going to step in front of me while I'm standing here and ignore me like I'm not supposed to be there. I would have straight moved her ass out the way. Excuse you. Hey, Oscar girl, how you doing? You know what? You had a great match today with Roxanne. It was wonderful to meet you. And thank you so much for showing up to NXT, girl. We love you. Not to you. You get in my business again, bitch, and you're going to get more than mushed. You understand me? I will snatch every one of the micro links in your head out. Okay? Mind your business. For you be bald-headed up in here like Tony Storm was a couple years ago. Okay? You'll have a couple bald spots. Stop playing with me. Then I'd have walked my ass away. I'd have did my nice little cowgirl shake. Oh, God. I'd have tore her ass up. I hated that outfit, period. I'm mad my idea ain't happened. Because I instantly thought, what? I would have been talking to myself. What is your idea? It looked like Tiffany and Fallon might have a little thing going on. Which is cool because Fallon needs to get into some new stuff anyway. And I think Fallon wasn't being used. So them having Tiffany and Fallon might have a little mini feud. It's probably kind of cute for Fallon. It'll help boost Fallon some more too. Fallon's a good character. She's good in the ring as well. So that would have been fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch if they go that route. Now let's get to the last part of the show. Okay. Because the last part of the show was fun. And the Rabbits had the gun on this one. So Carmelo and Brian was going at it. Carmelo had Brian for a little bit, but then Brian's power started to take over and he was beating the shit out of Carmelo Hayes. Okay. Carmelo Hayes had like scarring and bruising on his forehead, on his face. Brian Breaker hit Carmelo hard with a spear. It was bad. Carmelo sells the hell out of them damn spears. And it was looking kind of rough. But eventually Carmelo Hayes was able to pick up the win over Brian Breaker. Now, Brian Breaker then attacked Carmelo Hayes at the end of the show and grabbed the microphone and said he was the baddest man in NXT in all of WWE. And well, that didn't sit too well with the original American Badass. Okay, that didn't sit too well with him. He was a little perturbed by that. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Bitch, I know you ain't called my name." He said, "Bitch, I heard you was looking for me." He was like, "Bitch, here I go." I heard you looking for me, bitch. Here I go. What's up? Also, remember, trailer for Iron Claw comes out tomorrow. Oh, yeah, it does. The Iron Claw trailer comes out tomorrow. That's going to be cool. I fucking love Fallon. Me too. Sean loves Mello like Hunter loved Adam Cole. And you know what, Nicole? I'm all for it. And I tell you why. One, because he black. Two, because he black. Three, because he black. I'm just playing. I'm all for it because Carmelo Hayes is a complete package. Now, I got something else to tell y'all that some of y'all might not be happy about, but I'm going to tell y'all in a minute once I get done with the ending of this show. So, as Brian Breaker was standing in the ring bragging about beating everybody up, okay, the American Badass came out, okay, and they were standing toe to toe, face to face. And Brian Breaker told him he old time, you need to get your ass out of here talking cash shit. And Undertaker didn't take that shit too kindly. So Brian Breaker ended up getting his ass whooped in a choke slam for his troubles. And that was that. He was laid out. But the end of the show closed with Carmelo Hayes getting the endorsement from The Undertaker and Brian Breaker being taken out. Now, for the most part, Pauline was gone, and so was what's his face? Oh shit. So was John Cena. They had left by then. But that's how the show closed out. It was a lot going on for this, but you know what? The fun part about it was that even though those big stars were there, the NXT people were the stars of the show. The Brawling Brutes and Gallus showed out in their match. Lola Vice and Danny Palmer put on a very good match for the women's breakout tournament. Roxanne and Asuka tore the house down and set the tone for the matches. And even Dominic and Ilya had a really good match. For the most part, the match between Brian Breaker and Carmelo was a solid match. All of the matches on the card were well worth the time and effort that was put into them. And it wasn't overpowering or overshadowing that all these people were there. It really worked and seemed to be interwoven into the show. And it was done with finesse. It wasn't done to be this extravagant thing like you remember when we saw with Raw 25 or whatever it was, or like Raw 1000 where they just had a bunch of people popping up in random shit. Like these people that came to NXT were woven into already building storylines, and they just helped aid these things along. And that's how it should be. That's how it's supposed to be done. They weren't the focal points, they were in addition to the show itself. So now when we watch NXT next week, it won't feel like we're missing anything because the show is going to continue. You're still going to have the same things going. Same people are going to be there. It's going to have continuity. That's what made it so great. That's what made this show so awesome. It was exciting. And you didn't even realize we was 30 minutes in by the time we got to, I think it was Ilya and Dom's match. We were 30 minutes into the show by then. And I was like, damn, that went by so fast. That went by so fast. I was like, goodness. Watching the Oscar match now, I hope you enjoy it. Oscar is the only woman who can have a good match with everybody. Becky is a close second. Very good. He said AT2 on. Please leave AT2 alone. Overall, I really enjoyed NXT and I thought it was an excellent show. They did a really, really good job at blending everything in and giving Brian Pillman Jr., aka Alexis or Lexis King, his time to shine because it's going to be hard to be able to shine with all those big stars on the show at one time, and they were able to do that and do it seamlessly. So shout out to Shawn Michaels for putting on such an amazing show and the great booking that they were able to do. It's not easy to be able to pull that kind of booking off. So shout out to him because he's been on a fire for the last year. And a lot of people ain't been giving Shawn his props, but ever since Deadline last year, Shawn Michaels has been pulling out really decent shows. He's been really trucking along with his PLEs, whether it be TV or on Peacock exclusively. His weekly episodic shows may not be as exciting every single week, but for the most part, the consistency of the storylines is great. The matches are always great. He does pretty well with the booking. He spreads it very evenly. We usually see everybody within a month. We will have seen just about every woman on that roster that is capable of being seen on the show. And we usually see the tag teams. We usually see the North American Championship. That NXT champion is always shown. Even in the women's division, that NXT Women's Championship is always shown. He does a very good job of rotating storylines evenly, so we don't forget and we see them regularly, and that's a very hard thing to juggle and do, and he does it exceptionally well. Now, his counterparts, as far as Trip and Tony Khan, they have a difficult time making sure things are rotated effectively, but I would imagine you can learn from anybody around you. And I think Triple H should take a good look at Shawn Michaels and his booking and try to emulate some of that on the main roster when it comes to the women's division, as well as when it comes to that mid card. Oh, very good. All right. We're sweet. We got the look we can't be beat. Now, I promised y'all I would talk about AEW Dynamite because they did have a show and it was called Title Tuesday. The match card for Title Tuesday is as follows, just to be fair. Some of y'all may not like AEW, so if you're not a fan, it's all right. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll go live tomorrow. But I'm going to pull this up on Bleacher Report right now so you guys can see it. All right. Hope you guys can see. I forgot about Jade. Jade was there. She was called by Shawn Michaels to be there. And if you notice, Jade was also at Fastlane talking to Triple H. And she was at NXT talking to Shawn Michaels. So I don't know where she's going to go, but I hope she goes to NXT because I feel like that'd be a good place for her to start. She doesn't have to be there long, a year at best. Let her be champion for like 3 to 6 months. Then she can drop it and come to the main roster. She can come to the main roster as champ. Kevin did it. Saraya, aka Paige, was able to do it. Like, she can do it. It's fine. Anyways, the card for Title Tuesday is as follows. Adam Copeland went up against Luchasaurus. The AEW World Championship was contested. Saraya was your champion. She went up against Shida. The AEW International Championship was being contested. Jon Moxley's trying to get his title back from Rey Fenix. Hangman Adam Page went up against Jay White. A number one contenders match for a shot at the TNT Championship. It was Brian Danielson versus Swerve Strickland. I'm sorry. Chris Jericho went up against Powerhouse Hobbs. Toni Storm was ready for her close-up. She debuted her short film today, which was hella funny. Y'all have to watch it. MJF made an appearance, and the Ring of Honor World Championship was being contested. Eddie Kingston was going up against Suzuki on the buy-in for AEW's Title Tuesday. So this was the buy-in. It was Eddie Kingston, the current Ring of Honor world champion, and he's also the New Japan Strong Openweight champion. He was going up against Suzuki, and according to Bleacher Report, Kingston defeated Suzuki and retained his Ring of Honor championship. Brian Danielson went up against a thick-ass version of Swerve Strickland. He real thick and not in a good way. Like he looked like, ooh. Anyway, Brian Danielson beat Swerve Strickland. Oh my God. Okay. Brian Danielson beat Swerve Strickland. This match is graded an A per Bleacher Report. I don't really care. Anyway, Powerhouse Hobbs went up against Chris Jericho, and probably Chris Jericho won. Oh, well, look at that. Chris Jericho lost the match. Shocker. How Powerhouse Hobbs defeated Chris Jericho. The AEW International Championship was Orange Cassidy versus Ray Phoenix. Okay, this must have been changed. It says that there was a revelation earlier in the night that Jon Moxley was not medically cleared to compete as advertised, and Orange Cassidy stepped up to the plate to go up against Ray Phoenix for the AEW International Championship. Of course, a title that he legitimized over a year ago. Cassidy defeated Ray Phoenix to win the title back. They gave him the title back. No way. That's crazy. Why did you take it off of him to begin with? Rude? Fuck is going on? Anyways, Toni Storm introduced her first film. It was a silent one entitled Lover's Lament. It aired during the picture-in-the-picture commercial break because even on a show where the first 40 minutes were uninterrupted, the women's division gets screwed. This Bleacher Report is shady as fuck. Wardlow went up against Matt Sydal. He beat Matt Sydal, and Hangman Page went up against Jay White. He's 1/3 of the 6-man tag team champions. Hangman Adam Page went up against Jay White. Jay White beat Page. I don't really understand. Okay. AEW is not my bag, so none of this really makes any sense to me, but sure. But according to the top moments and takeaways written by Bleacher Report, it says White made his way to the ring with the AEW World Championship after absconding with it a week ago, which means he stole it. The work on Page's right knee was exceptionally done, blah, blah. White repeatedly worked on the dragon screw worked the dragon screw. When you win the AEW title, that makes you the best wrestler on the goddamn planet, MJF exclaimed. Robinson cut a promo in which he entered himself into the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. I imagine it's Juice Robinson. For a chance to win MJF's coveted ring. I guess that's fucking weird, but sure. Saraya went up against Sheeta and she lost. Sheeta defeated Saraya and won the title. Ruby Soho was banned from ringside for the match, but interfered anyway and ended up getting beat by Toni Storm's shoe. There were way too many boo-yay spots in this one. Sheeta kicked out after being sprayed in the face with paint, and chants of Holy Sheeta rained down from the stands. Adam Copeland went up against Luchasaurus. Copeland beat Luchasaurus. I mean, I guess. He cut a promo telling Beth to change the sheets on the bed and come home. He's coming home. I said, all right. It's just whatever you say, bro. 2 people got titles back that never should have been taken off of them in the first place. We were talking about it in the We Love Wrestling Live like that. Like, we were heated. Tony's segment was a fucking picture in a picture. That match was too long. And I don't know who approved the quarters thing with Juice to be on TV, especially with all this shit with Israel and all that. Wait, what did he do? This match with Cage had a few poignant parts in here where he was just like, I'm not their leader, I'm their father. That's the difference. Cage said mocking Edge's run with Judgment Day and why it failed. He said, I have a lot of fans around the world. In fact, I know your wife Beth is a huge fan. This is such a weak read. Like, you could have did anything. It's just a weak read, bro. Luchasaurus delivered an extinction lariat, blah blah blah. The pacing of this one was weird. It was overly dominated by Luchasaurus for just over an hour after Hobbs had the same kind of match with Jericho. It did not necessarily hype the crowd for most of the bout. Copeland ran off the ring apron off a set of ring steps and delivered a spear on the arena floor. The Hall of Famer blasted his opponent with Cage's own TNT Championship, which causes Luchasaurus to think Captain Charisma hit him. Copeland recovered, delivered the spear, and scored the win. Blackpool Combat Club made the save for Copeland, only to be followed by Swerve Strickland and Mogul Embassy. Danielson got the best of Cage and tapped him out in a preview of Collision's main event. I mean, sure. Ooh. It's not a bad grade. They said, according to Bleacher Report, which I'll get my overall from Nicole, because she gives me a better viewpoint of what happened and what it was. According to Bleacher Report, this was the tale of two shows. The first hour ranking among the best episodes of Dynamite in recent memory, and the second half dragging things down a bit. Danielson and Strickland's match was great. Hangman and Page and Jay White had another quality bout, and Cassidy and Phoenix was good for what it was. The second half, though, lacked the quality of the first. Copeland and Luchasaurus was fine. Sheeta and Saraya worked with what they had, and the Wardlow squash was mostly unneeded. If there was one major argument against Tuesday's show, is that on a night of such major competition over in NXT, this felt like a show in which nothing major happened. Unlike NXT, this was a broadcast that stayed the course, but did not do an abundance of it to convince fans to tune into next week's show. That's the biggest missed opportunity of the night. That's what I just told y'all. It was continuity, because you want to see what's going to happen next week with what happened with NXT. The focal point was not on the people who were there. They were aiding the show along, and that's where AEW fails miserably, and they failed in this front. They failed. Okay. She said she gonna send it in the group chat. Let me check. Oh yeah, baby, they're still a thing. They ain't going nowhere, honey. What the fuck? they got fucking. Hold on, y'all. Let me check the group chat. Double triple check. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Let me see. Oh. What was the significance of the quarters? Like, what the fuck was that? Mind you, Juice has done this in Japan, keeping quarter roll in his hand for punches, bit with it, having MJF's name on it, and MJF's story about people making fun of him as a kid for being Jewish and throwing quarters at him, and the whole thing with Jews and money, very ill timed and in bad taste. Okay, I get it. All right, that's why I said that. Friedman. Okay, I got it. I got it. They're going to have to clean this up. It seems to me that there's no limit to the things that they can do. And this is one of the reasons why Tony Khan shouldn't be the only person approving or disapproving storylines. And it's in poor taste. I don't like that. And then it's disrespectful to Max and the things he said, but it just feels icky. I don't like it. With all that being said, if I had to give you guys a clear understanding of the best and the worst of Tuesday, I think that AEW lacks the ability to do storylines that have decent continuity and can lead to bigger and better things. While some titles have changed hands, it hasn't really done anything for any of the people on the show. Like, let's keep it real. If I didn't really dislike Swerve Strickland, I would kind of feel some type of way about Swerve losing to Bryan Danielson. To be fair, I understand Bryan Danielson is a big guy, he's a big name or whatever, but you need to be looking towards the future. And I'm sorry, Bryan Danielson isn't that guy. You put Swerve in these storylines, and he doesn't really win anything by doing them. And while a lot of people love Swerve and they're like, yeah, he's one of the best villains in AEW, what has that gotten him? Yeah, he's gotten opportunities, but he hasn't won shit. He haven't done nothing. Like, what's good though? Because people are very, very sensitive about this topic right now. I tried to watch AEW, but this episode was not for me. Hello, Mario. How are you? Um, I so right now Israel is at war with Hamas. Am I saying it right? Um, I heard about Israel and Palestine having their conflicts, but this is a war that I don't know much about, so I don't speak on these things, and things I don't really know, I don't speak on. I know I heard about it, but I don't have a good knowledge of it or a good handle of it. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about something that I'm not knowledgeable about, and I'm gonna let them have that. But if they're doing something, it's disrespectful to Max, to be fair, and it's in poor taste. I agree with Nicole; it is in poor taste, and it can be perceived as disrespectful. And I know people like being healed and they like drawing heat or whatever. But I feel like if you have to do the cheap stuff, like what Christian is doing with Edge's wife, it just seemed like it doesn't have to be a point of contention, and it can be done in a more tasteful manner. It's just cheap thrills and cheap pops that ain't gonna last at this point. All right. So hold on a second. Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour grosses a total of $592 million. That bitch made $592 million. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. That's half a billion almost. Nah, bitch, it is. It's $500 million. Y'all feeling it. Domino's initiates emergency pizza program to give customers a free pizza when they truly need it. Okay. All right, y'all. With all that being said, AEW and NXT have gone head to head. And if I'm being fair, I can't really speak on AEW show because I didn't see it. I did get to see pieces of the show. I got to see Tony Storm's segment, which I'm kind of sad that they gave her a picture in a picture. Tony Storm is probably one of the best parts of AEW at this moment. And for you to put her in a picture type of situation is ridiculous because Tony really has a good thing going here with this character and it works for her. But there is something that I need to talk to y'all about. I want y'all to see this line for NXT was down the street. It was in the parking lot. It was wrapping around the corner. People was waiting to get in. Some people camped outside of the NXT Performance Center to get in. There was a lot of people on Twitter who basically was saying that maybe they should have moved this show to a bigger venue, but somebody else responded and was like, well, it more than likely could not do that due to the fact that the NBA preseason started and they may not have been able to get into a bigger venue like that. But maybe if they were still going to Full Sail, they could have went to the Full Sail venue and went in there. But the line was wrapped around the corner to get into NXT today. It was a sight to see. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to what I wanted to show y'all. This is what it looked like inside. And like I said, Wrestle Ops said that people were camping out since last night for NXT. Let me see if it saved everything. It did it, and I thought I saved it. Fuck. Oh, I didn't save it. Hold on. I was on Wrestle Ops page. And I'm going to have to scroll through to find it. Because I want to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Wait, she ain't got that jacket. Let me see. Oh, I could go buy this jacket. That's the same. It's similar to Seth's jacket. Let me go see if they got that checker jacket. I'll buy that shit. And give me some cute harem pants and some shiny boots. I'll be fucking Seth Rollins for Halloween, bitch. Anyways. Oh. Oh, come on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, this was a cool picture of Cody. Oh, my goodness. He's very proud of you, love. We love that for Cody. For once, he had a good question. Look at Jade Cargill, y'all. She out here tearing hoes up. Where is it? Oh. I just saw it and they took it out. Fucking hell. Damn. Anyways, I saw a post about Velveteen Dream. Okay. And the post essentially was talking about how he's gone into rehab and how he's cleaned himself up. He said, I just know that line was ripe as hell. I came with you. And you had all that smoke for Shein earlier. No, this is how I know you don't listen. I said everybody that shops at Shein doesn't look cheap. I said Tiffany Stratton looks cheap. That's what I said. I didn't say Shein was bad. I said Shein is a place for everybody who shop for Shein. Do y'all look cheap when you buy what you buy? And everybody that said they didn't said no. But I didn't say nothing about Shein being bad. I said even though you buy Shein, you don't have to look cheap in it. That's what I said. So you mind yourn, and I'll mind mines. Okay? Hold on. Now, they were talking about Velveteen Dream and how Velveteen has gotten himself together apparently. He has gone to rehab and trying to clean himself up, has gotten himself clean. He's been at the Performance Center a couple of times, and he showed up at the Performance Center last night. He was there, apparently. He was there. Rumor has it that he may be making his way back to NXT or possibly on the main roster in WWE. Some people have an aversion to that, others don't. The way I see it, if Austin Theory can be there and Joe Coffey can be there and several other people can be there, then I guess Velveteen Dream can be amongst the muck of the WWE as well. I don't give a damn about Peppermint Patty and what he got going on. If he healthy, good for him. If he got himself together, good for him. But me personally, he's not something that I have to see. Do I miss him being around? Of course. I loved Velveteen Dream's character, but given the circumstances of what we know of how he acted and how he treated people, damn. I don't know. But again, if you can have Joe Coffey on the TV show and everybody else, then Velveteen Dream shouldn't be too far behind. I don't have an opinion on that one way or another. WWE is going to do what it does, and if they decide to bring him back, they're going to have to make sure they keep his ass on the leash. Simple as that. With all that being said, loves, we're going to go because I want to get some sleep and get up in the morning. We got a couple things that we're gonna be looking forward to. Friday, Roman Reigns is supposed to make his return to SmackDown. We know that John Cena is sticking around a bit longer on the show, so this could be a thing. We also saw Pauline call Roman while he was talking to Brian Breaker, which leads me to believe that Brian Breaker probably will show up on the main roster at some point to start causing some chaos. And he could potentially be a new client for Pauline. But who knows? Okay. All I know is that Friday some tables is gonna get shook and some heads is gonna roll. Because as of right now, the bloodline don't look like no force. They look like they some pushovers. And Roman can't have that because when they look bad, he look bad. So everybody probably gonna get it on Friday, I suspect. But with all that being said, Crown Jewel is coming. It's going to be November 4th. And the very first match for Crown Jewel has been set with Seth freaking Rollins. Crown Jewel is going to air at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 a.m. Pacific Time in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia. This is the last show for the Saudi deal for this year. They got a couple more years to do this. Next year, they'll have to put on another show, another 2 shows, and the year after that. I think they got about 4 more years left on the contract. With all that being said, this is not the final show of the year for the main roster. The final show of the year is Survivor Series. Survivor Series is going to be Saturday, November 25th in Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois. You're going to have Survivor Series and SmackDown both in Chicago. That crowd is going to be ridiculous. And the tickets have already gone on sale for Survivor Series. And I'm sure right now, with the way things are shaping up, that the tickets are going to start to sell out even quicker. But you have that. We also have Halloween Havoc coming up. We just heard that Shotzi is going to be hosting Halloween Havoc along with one of her good friends, Scarlett. They're going to be hosting it together, which I think is really, really cool. I believe that was a suggestion that Nicole made last year when Shotzi was hosting um, Halloween Havoc. It was Nicole or Don, one of them. It could have been both of them that made that suggestion that she be a part of it next year. So shout out to y'all for foreshadowing. Then NXT is gonna have its final pay per view of the year, which will be the final pay per view overall for WWE, and it's gonna be Deadline. NXT's Deadline is gonna be in Bridgeport, Connecticut, on Saturday, December 9th. And y'all know that the Iron Survivor Challenge is the match of this pay-per-view. Is the theme. This is why you see them inside this glass and metal box, because that is a part of the Iron Survivor match. With all that being said, WWE will keep on rolling into the next year, and the first thing we're going to see for pay-per-views or PLEs is the Royal Rumble, which is going to come live from Tampa Bay, Florida on January the 27th, which is a Saturday, and everybody's going to be vying for their opportunity to compete to be the Royal Rumble winner and have a free pass heading into WrestleMania. But before we get to WrestleMania, we'll be sitting up looking at Elimination Chamber. This time, Elimination Chamber is going overseas. It's going to be in Perth, Australia, Saturday, February 24th of 2024 in the Optus Stadium. This is going to be Rhea Ripley's hometown. They're going to be in a couple other people's backwoods as well. So you got a lot going on. More than likely, Rhea Ripley is going to be inside the chamber. And if she's in the chamber, she's probably going to win because they're going to be in Australia. Okay. Anywhoosies, the final show of the wrestling year, I guess you could say, is WrestleMania, the biggest show of the summer. And of course, to piggyback off of that, you'll probably have Vengeance for NXT, and you're going to have Stand and Deliver as well. So just to make sure I cover all my bases, all right. But WrestleMania 40 is going to be live, loud, and in color from Philly. And of course, that's a 2-night event. And there you have, ladies and gentlemen, those are all the pay-per-views leading up to WrestleMania, including NXT's. And that is where we are. All right. WrestleMania 40 is going to be a big show, April 6th and 7th, which is a Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to see who's booked for the show. This is going to be from Lincoln Financial Field. Get your tickets and go, and then send me pictures. Send me pictures. So I know it. Because I want y'all to go and have a good time. With all that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the show. And of course, don't forget to go and listen to the Down for the Count podcast. Follow us on our socials. The podcast will be up tomorrow with Alexis's episode of What Had Happened Was. She's chronicling most of the most notable Halloween Havoc shows from WCW exclusively. And this one is a doozy, and I was featured on the show with her on this one. And of course, you can always go listen to the KTT with Tiff podcast on Spotify. We got a couple of things to talk about when it comes to this show. It's coming out tomorrow late afternoon, so make sure you guys go and check it out. I will see you guys later on tomorrow when I do my live, because I have to record for the podcast this week. So I will see you guys later on, probably around 10 or 11 is when I will go live tomorrow for Freestyle Wednesday. Everybody should be able to make it by then. We'll talk about the SBC chat and everything. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.